You think she's avoiding you because she's not interested. You think her silence is rejection, her distance is a lack of care. But that's not the truth. Here's the opening you need to hear. She's not avoiding you. She's terrified of falling. She's terrified of losing herself inside someone who might break her. And the brutal truth is this. Every time you misread her, every time you push, every time you demand clarity, you push her further away. You've been blind, and that blindness has cost you more than you know. Here's the first truth most men never realize. She feels too much, too fast. You think you're reading her signals, but you're not. She's feeling an emotional hurricane inside her chest, one she hasn't learned to control. Every laugh, every touch, every word between you triggers an avalanche of feelings she doesn't know how to manage. She's scared of the power her own heart holds. She's terrified that if she gives in fully, she'll disappear into someone else. And if you sense hesitation or distance, don't mistake it for disinterest. She's protecting herself from drowning in her own emotions. This is where most men get it wrong. She's protecting her heart, not from you, from life. Every time she pulls away, it's a shield she's perfected over years of heartbreak, humiliation, and betrayal. Vulnerability has been punished before, so she learned to wrap herself in emotional armor. Your validation, your promises, your constant reassurance, she can smell desperation. She doesn't trust it. She doesn't need words. She needs proof that pain won't follow love. And here's the thing, you can't provide that. Not yet. Not ever if you keep playing by her rules instead of noticing the silent power games she's running. Reason number 2 why attraction quietly dies. She fears losing control. Falling for someone means surrendering power, letting someone else navigate her emotional state. That terrifies her. She's been taught, consciously or not, that dependency equals weakness. And every time you make her feel needed, every time you ask for her full trust, her instinct is to step back. She's not cold. She's calculated. She's choosing survival over surrender. And you? You think she's the problem, and this is the part nobody warns you about. She's been hurt before. You see charm, flattery, even affection, and you think you're special. But in her mind, history repeats itself. Every betrayal she survived whispers in her ear every time she gets close. She notices the tiny cracks in your behavior, the subtle signs of unreliability. She watches your texts, your tone, your reaction times, and compares them against the ghosts of her past. She doesn't let anyone close until she's sure she won't bleed again. And by the time you think you're in, she's already testing if you'll hurt her anyway. Here's another truth most men overlook. She overthinks every signal. Every pause, every smile, every slightly ambiguous comment is dissected in her mind like a crime scene. She rewrites the narrative constantly, running through worst-case scenarios. She doesn't just worry about you leaving, she worries that love itself will trap her in pain. And every second she analyzes, every silent doubt she entertains, she's testing you without telling you. And you? You miss it, thinking she's indecisive or flaky, when really she's protecting the one thing she values more than love: control. If you've experienced this, you already know. She doubts your intentions. No matter what you say, no matter what gestures you make, she's looking for the hidden motive. She's learned that charm can hide manipulation, kindness can hide selfishness, and love can mask control. She's been trained by life to question, to doubt, to anticipate betrayal before it arrives. And here's the dark truth. Most men don't realize that while they're focused on winning affection, she's quietly scanning for red flags, deciding whether you belong in her limited circle at all. Now, pay attention. She's scared of getting attached. Real attachment terrifies her because it means vulnerability, dependency, and the risk of loss. She craves love, but she's terrified of the cost. Every step closer, every moment of intimacy triggers the thought, what if this ends in pain? And when fear and desire collide, she retreats. She detaches emotionally before she can be hurt, leaving men confused, angry, and desperate. You think it's rejection, but it's self-preservation. You think it's avoidance, but it's a silent strategy. and you're missing it entirely. Here's where attraction quietly flips. She tests distance to feel safe. She doesn't need drama. She doesn't need games. She needs reassurance without words. Pulling back, creating space, gauging your reaction. It's all a litmus test. If you panic, if you chase, if you demand, you fail. If you remain calm, composed, emotionally scarce, and subtly dominant, you pass. And most men fail because they misunderstand strength as arrogance, scarcity as disinterest, and patience as weakness. Every misstep hands her power and chips away at yours without you even noticing. And now, the moment most men never see coming. She wants love, but fears pain. Her heart is a battlefield of desire and dread. She longs to be cherished, but the closer she gets, the louder her inner alarms sound. Every compliment, every intimate gesture, triggers the duality of hope and fear. And here's the brutal truth. You can't eliminate her fear. You can't argue it away. You can only navigate it, recognize it, and adapt, or you'll be another casualty of her subconscious strategy for survival. Pause and consider this. This is where the script flips, and it's not about her anymore. It's about you. You've been blind to every subtle cue, every tiny withdrawal, every silent test. You've been giving power away without realizing it. You've been chasing, validating, explaining yourself, and begging for access to her emotional world. And while you've been busy trying to win, she's been deciding whether you're worth the risk. Ask yourself, how often have you truly commanded presence, held value, and invoked desire? How often have you been replaceable without noticing? How often have you allowed your ego to collapse at the first sign of resistance? The painful truth. Men lose power in slow, silent ways they never see, and women feel it instantly. And here's the part that will haunt you. She doesn't need you to fix her past. She doesn't need your reassurance. She needs to know, on a primal level, that you won't destroy her. That you can remain unmoved yet desirable, scarce yet dominant, and emotionally sovereign. Every second you fail to internalize this, attraction slips, subtle power flips, and you're one more man she quietly dismisses. This is the final descent. She's not avoiding you. She's afraid of falling, yes, but she's also deciding if you're worth the risk. And here's the truth nobody will say. If you've ever felt desperate for her affection, if you've ever compromised your standards, if you've ever begged silently for love, she already knows. She can sense it. And the attraction, once hers to give freely, is quietly evaporating. The realization? It's irreversible. Once you see how easily power can shift, you cannot unsee it. You cannot pretend ignorance anymore. So here's what you do with this knowledge. You don't chase. You don't plead. You don't rationalize or beg. You reclaim your presence, command your value, and embrace the subtle art of emotional scarcity. You let her feel the gravity of your absence and the pull of your presence without begging for either. And in that space, real desire, tension, and attraction are reborn. You may not be liked by everyone. You may be misunderstood. But you will never be powerless again. Remember this, she's not avoiding you. She's terrified, calculating, self-protective, and testing every fiber of your emotional strength. And if you fail to respect the silent rules she lives by, you're not just losing her, you're losing yourself. This is the kind of awareness that changes everything. You can't unsee it, you can't unknow it, and you can't go back. From this moment forward, the truth is yours to wield. And if you survive it, if you truly internalize it, you'll see the world, and women, through eyes that no longer deceive you.